Gee, Steve, what are we going to do tonight?
Same thing we do every podcast. Tell him how we sees it.
Greco is housed in an impregnable room, shock-mounted, temperature-controlled, and it locks down if it even senses it is under attack. If it locks down, they wouldn't even be able to get out of the room.
Couldn't we just shut it off, cut the wires?
That could work. Better still, you could just kick the plug out at the socket.
Seriously?
No, short of walking into that room with a bloody magnetron around your neck. You know what a magnetron is?
Something that screws up the Greco?
Short of that, I'm kind of shocked this is where we are because this is a problem.
That's what I said.
But if we could somehow
No,
shut it
there's no
off.
if. It cannot be shut off. I mean, you need a real natural disaster, an actual act of God.
But if we could,
You can't.
But if we did,
You can't.
you could.
Don't flatter.
If we could, how long would it take to reboot?
3.5 minutes.
Might be enough.
Pick your natural disaster.
Get me a laptop. Now, the drill accesses through a sewer main off Paris Drive. Grinds along here into the northwest corner of the hotel. Here. Probably about 6 RPM, so you won't wake all the neighbors. When it reaches the resonant frequency, the building acts like a tuning fork. To people inside, it will feel like an earthquake. That should knock out the Greco. And that's your exit strategy.
All right, here we go. It's How We Sees It, episode 312. This week we're back with Ocean's 13. We did 11, 12, and now we're on the third of these Oceans. It's not a trilogy. It's just.
What do you mean?
Let's do this
Yeah,
again. It's not a trilogy. It really isn't, because there's an Ocean's 8 that screws it up from being a trilogy.
Okay.
Right? I mean, not only that, but the director actually originally said that he hadn't planned for it, and then he was talking to people. He's like, "Oh, well, I got to do this. I got this idea," and then he went back and found another thing where he said, "No, I had planned this all along." So you can't even believe the damn.
I'll give you that
director.
it wasn't put together as a trilogy, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
there's 3 of them, so it does.
There is 3 of them. No, you're 100% right.
But then you threw the monkey
arguably,
wrench in about the Ocean's 8, so you're correct there that it's no longer.
Yeah, but Ocean's 8 is not like the same. It's not part of the same storyline. It's got completely different characters. So.
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
You know what's funny is I was listening to the podcast today, and they attributed Oceans 11, 12, 13 to back to Star Wars, the original shows, and they were talking about how it actually they tied it in. I was like, holy crap, they're not wrong. It ties in very well if you really dig down deep in characters and stuff like that. And I was like,
geez, and even in Ocean's 12, Catherine Zeta-Jones finds her father at the end. I am your father.
Right? They didn't even talk about that one, but that works too. But yeah, they were talking about how the only difference is in the original trilogy from Star Wars, 1 and 3 are better, or 2 is better than 1 and 3, and then this 1 and 3 are better than 2. And they said other than that, it kind of works.
Fair enough.
And I'm like, oh yeah, they're not wrong.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: how many Twilight movies are there? I have not seen one of those, so I have no idea.
Well, do you count the last one was split into 2 parts, wasn't it? So
Yeah. There's
So
what,
would there have
4?
been 3?
I think there were.
But there would have been 3. So let's think about it like Harry Potter. There were 7 Harry Potters. They just split the last one in because it was so long.
Yeah.
So would you say that Twilight was a trilogy, intended to be a trilogy, but the third one got too long?
They perverted it by splitting the last one into 2. So nope, they can't
Did
call
they
it that.
do that? They did that with the Hunger Games too, right?
They did
That
with
was
Hunger Games.
3 books, and then all of a sudden ended up
So
4 movies.
I'm just trying to, I thought Twilight was a trilogy. So I'm
The books were.
my analogy was going to be Ocean's 11 is a Twilight trilogy. 50 Shades of Grey is Ocean's 8. It's like fan fiction that turned into a movie.
That's
Gotcha.
true.
I mean, you could.
Well, I
you could
haven't
say
seen that one either, so that works. That works in that aspect too.
Anyway, just a thought.
Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to talk about Ocean's 13 here in a minute, but first, before we do all that, here on How We Seeez It, we like to create a cocktail or a drink that we pair to the movie that we're watching, and that's no different tonight. We're going to make at least 4 different drinks that tie right back into Ocean's 13. And I'll let you start, Bo.
All right, I tend to be the starter here, which is good because I was going to ask this week because my drink's a little time sensitive, not terribly time sensitive, but a little bit. Anyway, I made a cocktail called a Mexican 75. It's classy, genteel, tasteful, and elegant. It's an ounce and a half of tequila. I think I put an ounce and a half when I upload the recipe. It said an ounce, but I put an ounce and a half of tequila, Blanco tequila, half an ounce of lemon juice, half an ounce of simple syrup, and top it off with champagne up to about 3 inches.
I would have went with a Corona instead of the champagne and really go with that, or like a Modelo.
Well, none of those are classy, genteel, tasteful, or elegant.
Yeah, but neither is tequila or Mexico. So
Blanco, I mean, it's a good Blanco tequila. Like it's
no, I know, but you know what I mean. I like you're doing the it's a take on the French 75, right?
It's
Is that the
exactly
idea?
it's everything that a French 75 is with the
Yeah.
tequila, and it's a real cocktail.
Okay, I would have put my own spin. I think I would have had to go with a Modelo. I think that would have been
Well,
really good.
That's fine. I don't think it fit in the
Okay, no, I like it.
because those adjectives, in case you didn't know, are the adjectives from the girls from The Sid. That's what he says to them
Nice.
when he's standing there coaching them up. He's like, "I need you to be classy, genteel, tasteful,
Yeah,
taste of elegance."
there you
And they
go.
go, "And what do you want us to do? Hike those skirts up about 3 inches."
There's your 3 inches. Got it. Yeah, nice.
And there's the 3 inches. So anyway.
All right. See, I thought you were gonna.
Okay.
Go ahead. No,
I thought you were going to go with the rebellion and the worker
No,
strike.
I almost went that way because that's my favorite sub story of this whole thing.
Yeah.
that is
It's so
my
random.
favorite sub story. It's so
I love
random,
it
but
too.
it's so well done. There's so many like callbacks to it and the way it's feathered in and all that kind of stuff.
I
think
love
it's
the
such an
phone
amazing job.
call. Like, are you getting things? Yeah, we're getting things handled. And he throws the
I gotta go.
cocktail. Yeah.
I gotta go, and he hucks the cocktail. I like the part at the end where they're setting all the explosives for the electrical
And
cabinets.
the brother-
and he hugs him and he goes, I forget the brother's
Stay
name.
strong.
Yes, says stay strong. Yeah, exactly, or whatever it is, and all that kind of stuff. And then they're talking. I mean, just to go down the road, one more thing, and he goes, so they need $36,000. He
Yeah.
goes, how many are there? There's 200. He goes,
7 million.
So it's just around 7 million. He goes, no, it's 36,000 total. And then he looks at Terry Bennett and he goes, we'll backdate the check.
It's such. It is a great.
It's such a random sub.
Well,
plot
well,
to
I
the
love.
whole thing.
Well, I love. It's like how's it going down there? It's like, oh, it's going pretty well. We just have to wear down management.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then when he takes the mask off and he goes, what about the air conditioning? And they laugh
The
at him. And
mustache.
Yeah.
yeah, the mustache is so ridiculous. It's like such a parody of like, it's like if I wonder if Mexican people are offended by that mustache because that mustache is pretty offensive to an American. I wonder how offensive it is to Mexican people.
Who knows? I don't know.
Anyway.
I've seen some people with that. And it was Nestor. Stay strong.
That's right, Nestor, stay strong. Anyway, no beer this week. I kind of got busy, dropped the ball. It was a Total Wine & More and everything. I probably would have just picked up a like you're saying, a Corona or a Negra Modelo, which is Negra Modelo is my favorite beer, my favorite Mexican beer. Probably would have gone Michelada maybe with the Negra Modelo or something like that. So
Nice.
But yeah. So that's what I got this week.
Yeah. I love me a Corona with lime in it. Just it's a good summer beer for me. It's one of those.
I don't. Yeah.
But I got to have the lime in it. There's something about it. It's just I've been geared towards that. So if it's not there, kind of
Like a real lime, not like a Corona lime, but a real lime.
no, like an actual real lime.
Yeah.
Put in, squeeze it into the bottle, and I love it.
Yeah.
I'd say if
I
I-
used to drink them I used to drink them. I was a staunch and still am a no lime person. So
That's
much
why you're
to the
going to get
point-
scurvy.
So much to the point where my sister Nina, when I was in college, I believe, might have been high school, probably college, made me a T-shirt with the Corona logo on it, and she wrote Corona Alona.
Nice.
Oh man, I forgot
yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
my sister's
All right.
crafty.
All right. Well, be crafty with this cocktail, Nina.
All right, it is not crafty. It is just a standard cocktail. So there's a subplot. There's a lot of little subplots in this,
Yeah.
which happens when you have a big cast like this, and one of them involves Oprah Winfrey. And,
Oh yeah, they
and
built her a house.
and I remember, I mean, I remember when Oprah like ruled the world basically of
Oh, my God.
television, and
Right around the time this came out.
yeah, probably. And so I thought, I wonder if anyone ever developed a cocktail named after Oprah. And it turns out, no. But many websites listed her favorite cocktail, which she apparently did a lot of interviews, and people say, "What's your favorite cocktail?" And she always had the same answer, which is a Moscow Mule.
Oh,
And I'm like,
nice.
oh, I haven't had a
That's a good
Moscow
one.
Mule in a while. Gives me an excuse to take out my copper mug. So it's 4 ounces of ginger beer, 2 ounces of vodka, and half an ounce of lime juice. And
you go.
a mint sprig if it's summertime and you can get a mint sprig, but I couldn't. So
Throw out a
Just
little.
like-
Oh, I didn't know it got
lozenge
him in
instead.
spring. I never remember
That's-
that part of it.
yeah, a couple of them that I read said that. Yeah, so
Oh, okay. Nice.
bottoms up.
Cheers.
Nice. Oprah ran from 86 to 2011. So yeah, it was much into the prime of her show, but yeah, ran for quite a while.
Ah, it's 25 years. Wow.
That scene is fucking great too.
By the way, the charity that they mention, Camp to Belong. I looked that up. That's a real charity. It's
Oh wow.
It's a camp. The first one was outside Las Vegas, so it matches up. And it was a summer camp where foster kids who had siblings who were in different placements where they weren't in the same family, they would send them to summer camp together so they could,
Oh
have
really?
like
No, that's
be at camp together, which I thought that's really
is cool.
that's really sweet. So
Yeah.
But it was hilarious to see Terry Benedict on Oprah just trying to,
Yes.
And not even like he knows nothing about
looking
what's
in the
supposed to be
eyes of
going
the
on.
kids.
I know. Well, I think he did such a great job because like he seemed kind of like nervous and he stumbled on some words and stuff like that. Like the guys, I think he's won awards for acting or been nominated for awards for acting or something
Yes.
like that. He's a very accomplished actor, yet here he is like flubbing over his lines basically.
Well, I think that's on purpose.
It is
Yeah,
on
yeah.
purpose, but I think he sells it really well.
Yeah, oh,
is
for
what
sure.
I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, that's his damn job. He's an actor.
That's what I'm saying. He does a good job. I do a better job at that than I do in architecture.
That's probably true. All right, Steve, what do you got for us?
All right. My cocktail is called the Irwin Allen cocktail, and this is based off a little scene with when Linus is visiting Reuben, and Reuben's kind of catatonic in bed, and Linus is saying, "Okay, they've got Rusty in with Willy Bank and trying to demo the seismograph for the telling him about the earthquake, and he says he's doing a Irwin Allen, and being from film school, I know a little bit about Irwin Allen. He was he's most famous for the shaky cam for disaster movies, and so that's exactly what the reference is. And so I thought that was hilarious. So I looked to see if there was an earthquake cocktail, and I found an earthquake cocktail, and I decided to turn it into an Irwin Allen cocktail. The earthquake cocktail, there's a couple of versions. The classic version is a cognac and an absinthe. What I ended up doing was the American English version, which is gin, bourbon, and absinthe. So, and then I tweaked it a little bit to give it a little Ocean's 13 flair. So,
Bourbon and absinthe. Oh my God.
I know. Well, that's the idea. It's an earthquake. It gives you it packs a punch. And since it took us 20 minutes before we started this podcast, I ended up drinking mine. So
You've been sipping a little there.
I'm already slurring my words a little bit. So again, this is
tongue's probably numb from the absinthe.
1 ounce of gin, 1 ounce of bourbon, 3/4 ounces of the absinthe, and then I added a half ounce of the Italicus. That's a pretty suave and sophisticated liqueur that I thought fit with this. In fact, I think I used that for my Ocean's 12 cocktail as well. I also put a 1/4 ounce of Fontbonne, which is a green chartreuse alternative. So it's an herbal. A complex herbal liqueur, and I thought the complexity kind of fit in with the whole heist complexity. A little Peychaud's bitters, 2 dashes of Peychaud's bitters to give it a little style, and a lemon twist because it's Ocean's 13. You got to have a twist at the end. So again, I call this my Irwin Allen cocktail, and there you go. I've already had it to drink, so I don't have anything to taste anymore. There you go.
Oh, that's hilarious. So this is how I know me and Steve are best friends. I also went with a drink based off of an earthquake drink cocktail. The one that is normally 1 ounce gin, 1 ounce bourbon, and a 3/4 ounce or half ounce absinthe. But I wanted to go off of a 5.6 magnitude earthquake because that is what they called out when they were talking about this is what's going to shake the building, and that's what we need to set off the software and stuff like that, the Greco program. So I called mine, and it's also what they plan to do to shake the building to create the exit plan and the evacuation to get everybody out. Mine's called a 5.6 exit plan. And so it started off with that same cocktail, that same gin, bourbon, and absinthe. But I changed mine just like Steve did. Mine is a little bit different in the fact that I went with 2 ounces of gin, 2 ounces of a pineapple whiskey, right? Then I went with 0.5 ounce of a vanilla simple syrup and a 0.5 ounce of a blood orange bitters. And then I went with 0.6 ounce of the absinthe, so it gives me 5.6 ounces of liquid. Shook it up, poured it in my glass over ice, and stirred it. The reason I went with the pineapple whiskey because when Linus is upstairs, putting his moves on the lady there to get the diamonds, he pulls back and he goes pineapple, and I don't know if that's her safe word or if they were talking about something else, but it struck me. I was like pineapple, and I
think
they
were talking about the old myth of the
right. I get you. I just thought it'd be funny if it's all
you eat. The
Yes. Anyways, I love pineapple whiskey. It's one of my favorites of the flavored whiskeys that I've had recently, so I got with that. The gin I went with is the drink I actually found one. It used the Griffo Scott Street Gin, which is a local one here that's won a lot of rewards. I have that one.
Yeah.
So that got in my mind, and so I wanted to go with that. The vanilla simple syrup is also from Sonoma Syrups. They're local here and stuff like that. So I was like, put those all together, and I was like, okay. Outside of absinthe, this sounds absolutely delicious. Then I threw the absinthe in there, and I'm like, I don't know what this is going to do, but this is my 5.6 exit plan.
Oh, nice.
It's actually not too bad. The absinthe does override 90% of everything else.
Really, just that much? Because I had 3/4 ounces to 1 ounce gin, 1 ounce bourbon. You did 0.6 ounces to 2 ounces.
The flavor
of gin,
just really overcomes. I mean, I get a little bit of pineapple, a little bit of the orange bitters in there. Just a little bit of the gin and the whiskey, but not too much. I think the vanilla simple syrup really helps bring it down a little bit, so it's not too heavy or anything like that. It gives it a sweetness. But yeah, the absinthe is really just a flavorful. It tastes kind of like it's a black licorice kind of flavor, but it's not. The one time I remember having straight absinthe about killed me. we were doing testers on, I think it was my birthday. We went to a brewery, or not a brewery, but a distillery, and you could taste their absinthe. And I thought, oh shit, okay, well, so they bring you a whole, shot glass of it, like a full ounce. And I took a nice, I couldn't even finish it. It took all my breath away. My taste buds were like, we rebel for the next week. Everything tasted like licorice. So yeah, to me, the absinthe rinse makes a lot of sense to me now.
That's the fennel. Yeah, I always think of Moulin Rouge when I think of absinthe, because they have the little green fairy that's playing around, and that's kind of based on absinthe as kind of an illegal elixir of.
Didn't they do that in European road trip or?
I don't know.
They drank the green liquid, and it's like they hallucinate and do all the stuff too.
Yeah, that's absinthe. That's yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like there was a
Euro trip, I think.
Yeah, there was a myth for a long time that the absinthe that they made in the 1800s had like wormwood and stuff in it that was poisonous.
Oh,
that would cause you to hallucinate. And a couple of years back, they found, in somebody's wine cellar that they had a bottle of absinthe from that time. And they're like, oh, and they analyzed it, and they're like, yeah, there wasn't any poison or hallucinogenics in it. It was just a shitload of alcohol. And so, like, a lot more than most of them were used to. So it's like,
funny.
Yeah.
Well, in realistic, I've never bought absinthe. The absinthe I have is Steve gave me a little bottle. It was one of those, the apple juice bottles that come in the shape of the apple. I've had this little bottle of absinthe forever. It's my little apple absinthe bottle.
Because I got the Lafite absinthe, and it was a huge bottle. But I usually only use it as a rinse. You put it in a little perfume jar and you spray it on your glass or something to give it that fennel kind of odor to it, or distinctive taste. But this is, I think, the first cocktail where I've actually put anything more than a spoonful of.
Well, I had that one other one that was like and you guys all were shocked when I did it too. It was like another full ounce of absinthe. I should have learned from that one, but I had to get to the 0.56 or the 5.6, and that was the easiest way to do it. So I went with it. It's not bad. It really is not. I think there's enough other stuff in there to really smooth it out enough that it's drinkable.
I agree. Mine was delicious, but it is definitely spirit forward, and it packed a punch.
Yep. It's gonna rock your world and shake your rocks and move the earth underneath you. So that's the plan.
Now that Bo's back, I have a question that I want to bring him into, or not. It's not really a question.
Sorry, guys. Kelly had an issue upstairs. I had to help her with.
Okay, but you're back now, right?
Yeah, I am back. I'm totally back. Yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about earthquakes with these cocktails, and one of the things I got excited about with this movie was they were talking about how to generate a resonant frequency to make the building shake. And I remember back to my science days when I was, I don't know, was it physics or something, seeing a video about a bridge that they built a bridge.
Galloping Gertie? Galloping Gertie, I believe it's in Idaho.
Okay, well, I thought I'd ask the architect. I mean, to me that seemed, I always loved, I've spit that out at times. Oh, the resonant frequency. I think that's a cool idea. But as an architect, that's something you've got to really think about, right? When you're
Here's the thing about resonant frequencies. Go ahead, Nina. I was going to say, like, architect, I'd be happy to answer, but if the psychology major wants to answer, feel free to take over on this one.
No, it's just a fun trivia.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Just a fun trivia fact, like that. Isn't that why? Don't they have armies when they go across bridges? They break steps so they don't make that happen.
That I don't know. Noah would probably know more about that than any of us because he's the closest thing to having been in the army that all of us.
Yeah, no, I've never heard about that. I don't know if you could create enough of an actual frequency in that march. You would have to be so precise, and everybody would have to hit exactly right. And you would also have to have like shoes and the whatever you're walking on creating a certain kind of tone. You're not gonna create enough with just that.
Here's the thing about resonant frequency. It's terribly unpredictable.
Yep.
You never know. Like you can't. The fact that they said, "Oh, we do this and we create a resonant frequency," blah blah blah. I don't know if that's even possible, because usually what happens with resonant frequency is it happens and you don't realize that you've created it. You know how you can prevent it, but to create it is a whole nother thing, and it happens by accident. So you put a lot of things in place to help prevent the resonant frequency. A perfect example is, a couple, like, so the whole thing about Galloping Gertie, the bridge you're talking about, like that was just created by cars driving over, and the vibration of like the engines, the wheel force and all that kind of stuff, and the wind, just the light wind that would go through there and everything. Like it doesn't take much. But if you ever look at overhead power lines or overhead phone lines, right? You ever notice how there's two that run parallel and they have like a brace between them?
Yep.
Yeah.
That prevents the resonant frequency, because what happens is one will start to maybe vibrate and it'll create a resonance frequency in the other one, and then they'll start to wave wildly, and then one will break or something like that or whatever. So It is a real thing. It is a real deal, but
the closest most people get to it is when you strap something to the top of your car and you run a bar across or something, and the wind goes over that, you get that hum and stuff. And the way to break that is usually you run a rope circular around it so it breaks it up so the wind can't flow directly over it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Another thing is, if some cars, like some cars that have like a 4-door car, for instance, if you were to roll down the rear windows, but not the front windows, it creates this loud reverberation kind of a thing. And they attribute that to resonance frequency and stuff like that. So that's a real thing. And once we get further into this, away from the earthquake talk, I have a ton of architecture stuff from this total bullshit.
Awesome.
Just saying.
Good to know. It's good to know that this made-up movie is total bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, this whole casino is not real. It's not a real casino. So as soon as they showed the overhead of the strip, I recognized like MGM, and I think Paris was there, and then they had the was
big
Paris
open
there?
lot.
I thought it was where the Paris. Okay, I was.
No, it's across the street was the big open lot. And I was like, what the fuck is there? It's next to the Bellagio, from what I understand. But I was like, oh, man. So I went up and pulled up I was like 2007, what the strip looked like and stuff like that. And I still couldn't get a good thing on it. But I know I did do some research on IMDb, and they were saying that the you know how they go and talk to the guy from the first one that they used for his money, and he was the bad guy in the first
Terry
one.
Benedict,
Benedict. He's like, oh yeah, his tower cast a shadow over my pool. They're like, nope, physically can't happen. Not the way it's lined up on the strip. So it's all full shit. But then again, I was like, probably just.
I saw something different that said it actually was in the right line of sight for the shadow. So, but that's what.
Well, we got arguing podcast information, and it's on the internet, so they're both true.
Yes. In different universes, right? Different alternate universes.
This was interesting because, Ocean's 11 was a phenomenal hit. Like it hit all the right things, because everything, like the heist was great. The way they were talking was great. The interactions between the characters was great. It all
the random style that just
right.
The way Brad Pitt and George Clooney interacted on this one, the way they were just sort of like.
We're talking Ocean's 11 now, right?
11, they were great. They were so underplayed.
No, I thought they did a great in this one, the way they finished each other's thoughts and all that kind of stuff. And they were like, you never really knew what they were talking about, because they were always kind of talking like.
I think they were sidelined a little bit. I think they were sidelined for the most part. I mean, I really think
they
Matt
weren't
Damon,
major things, but when they did interact, anyway. Well,
I think he got way more. Cheadle.
He was a bigger star by now. But
Basher, absolutely,
Linus was a bigger star by now.
Yeah.
I think in real life.
Yeah, and I think like the way they film them, like the opening scene where Brad Pitt's character
He's
is pulling the
where?
heist and he gets the phone call and he's like, "See you fellas, gotta go,"
Yeah.
and just leaves him.
He just leaves.
But then there's a scene like where he's just like walking. It's just him walking, and there's something about the way it's shot, and
It's lit from below.
You know,
yeah, it's a low angle, and
Yeah,
it shows
and
that
it's lit and
gorgeous
everything,
blue
and it's like-
skyline. Yeah.
yeah, and you just look at him and he's like, "Man, I wish I were that cool."
Oh yeah, no, Brad Pitt. Oh yeah, no. If I could
I
just
don't-
have an ounce of his
He's
suave.
he's cool, but Soderbergh got to give him credit for that shot, or maybe the cinematographer.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they just found the right light for the twilight.
I don't know. I think you
Oh,
can
yeah.
walk around just Brad Pitt at home and film him, and you would get shit like that.
I
Like, he
know,
could,
but
he
I'm
could
just
probably take a dump and make it look good.
yes, but I'm just trying to acknowledge that this shot
Oh, no,
had
he
some
did.
Cinematography behind it that was more than
So,
just
That was
a cool
the
Brad
beauty of
Pitt.
the
But yeah,
11
Brad Pitt's pretty cool.
Was so good. Was the filming was great. 12, there was so many letdowns on so many levels. The story, some of the filming, the acting, it just wasn't held
12
up. This got better than 12.
12, I think, had more energy, but it was a dud of a story and kind of weird. Whereas 13, I thought lacked the energy, at least in the leading cast.
I think it
Highlighted
was too much.
but
it was almost too confusing.
I don't know. I had no problem with the.
I don't think
Had
so.
too many red strings going across. Like you didn't know. I mean, the story it didn't have the intricacy of the heist that they had in 1.
I would say this is a combination of 11 and 12 in the best way possible. I think they had kind of multiple storylines, things that kind of came in and out, like in 12, but they had all of it. I think the writing was better. Maybe Soderbergh got back on coke for the writing of this one, or
Well, let me ask you guys
whatever
this.
he did. So,
I don't think he wrote this one.
oh, he didn't. Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry.
That might explain that.
He gave the coke
Yeah.
to Brian Koperman and David Levian.
Okay.
They had to split it up, so that's why it wasn't as good.
That's
If
right.
you had a full coked up writer, you might have got a better story. But when you split it up, so now this is where it's kind of split between the podcasts I listen to. I only got a chance to listen to one day's worth of podcasts, so I also listened to
One
them
day's
on
worth. I'm sorry.
1.5 speed. So it was a lot of chipmunks
That's
spitting
slow?
out there. Well, I normally listen to normal speed. I'm not, I can't. I can only take the chipmunk sounds for so long, and even at 1.5, people's voices get fucking weird. I'm sure ours do.
They don't. They don't go chipmunk.
Ours are-
They don't go chipmunk. They just go fast. I
For
think.
me, it gets chipmunky.
Well, I'm just saying that it's not like they get high pitched. They do a really good job with speed up in that, and then it stays.
Like you guys sound. I listened to him at 2.5, and I'm not like,
Oh,
oh, my
shit.
gosh,
You listen to
I'm like,
us?
who's talking? Yeah. Here's the thing.
Whoa.
I'm not looking at your faces, so I'm just hearing your voices.
Okay.
So I process it so much faster, and I'm used to doing it that way. And
Good
like,
on you.
I'm not confused or anything or whatever.
Okay, good
and-
on you. I have to at one
But
and a half.
everybody's different, of course.
Yeah, 1.5. I mean, and I even have to turn it off when I have to concentrate on something else. But anyways, I wanted to get into this. Is there was torn between, and I'm also. I'm not sure if I really like this character or don't like this character, but Al Pacino as Willy Bank. Was he a good villain? Was he good in the character? Did Al Pacino even show up to act? There is,
Yeah. I sufficiently didn't like him, but I didn't necessarily care for his performance. I thought it was kind of simplistic. But I sufficiently didn't like him, so I don't know.
And I don't know if you would. What do you attest that to him or to the director?
Yeah,
Well, you're not supposed to like him for sure, but I agree with Steve. I think
Like
he
I mean,
felt
the
like he
man-
phoned in the acting.
yeah.
I
that's
think
the director's fault. Then it's not his fault. If he's not doing his fucking job, then the director needs to be like,
Well,
Al, fucking step it up.
Yeah, but you okay? Who do you blame?
I
Who cares?
agree.
But I think it's still a valid point.
Nina, go.
I mean,
Okay.
one, I agree with Bo about it being the director, and I heard this from a director when Andrew did a movie, and he said if a movie is good, it's because there were a lot of people who all did a good job, actors, cinematographers, everybody. He said, if a movie is bad, it's because the director didn't do his job.
Ooh, that's kind of rough. That's a little harsh.
And he said that as an actor, or as a director, I mean. But what I wanted to say about Al Pacino's character is I think he was more playing a trope than an actual person. Like he was playing. True. I think they were trying to have him be a certain kind of Vegas developer that just like has no taste, is kind of shady.
Just wants the money.
Just wants the money, right? Just doesn't. And in a contrast to Terry Benedict, who is also a villain, but actually like wants his hotels to be nice.
A certain way.
You bring up Terry Benedict.
Established that in Ocean's 11.
Terry Benedict had like a fraction of time in here. His scenes were hilarious.
He was great.
I mean, I was born ready. Well, I mean, that was a classic little response from Danny when he just rolled his eyes and stuff. But I mean, that moment, the moment on Oprah, just those. That was a much.
I think.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think it was really brilliant to have him like. After 2 movies where he was the antagonist, to have him like join forces with them,
which was also I was also a little bit against because the way 12 ended and he didn't win, he got his ass spanked pretty bad, and they just come in and after the way he was so boastful and won, like I'll fucking kill you guys, I'm a baddest motherfucker, and he just walks into his building and talks down to him. And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll be your partner." Then it kind of put a bad. It didn't.
I think it elevates.
Like he did.
I think it elevates Terry Benedict in that, Ruben is ailing. And this is not about this movie is not about money. It's not about them making money.
Personal.
This is personal.
It's all revenge.
And I like that this movie is different in that way, and that you're not just rooting for the person that's trying to make some money. It's like this has gotten personal. They've changed this up a little bit, and it kind of casts Terry Benedict in a little bit better light. And that he's gonna show up if it's for something that he probably doesn't like Willy Banks as well, or so.
Oh no!
Well, brought him in.
And I think he
brought him in, right? Yeah.
And I think he kind of resents like Willy Banks represents like a new kind of Vegas developer that Terry Benedict is like, we do not want this.
He's the old guard, but he's not holding to the truth, because they bring up that whole you shook Sinatra's hand, which that's Benedict, that's Banks, and that's what's the one that Ruben. They all were those guys, right? They all were there when Sinatra was around. Like they're all so. It's that kind of good boys club, and he's not playing by the rules, and so Banks has got to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's like you've betrayed the promise of Las Vegas by just making it crass and tacky and all.
I'm going to take us on a sidebar real quick, just because, and I don't know about any of this, and I'm just curious if you guys do. What is your thoughts on Frank Sinatra in general as a person? Someone brought this up in a podcast. They were saying that he was a bad guy, like he did a lot of bad shit, and I was like, oh fuck, I don't know anything about this.
I don't know anything about.
I was curious. I was like, I thought he was just.
I know Soderbergh tried to avoid even bringing Frank Sinatra up in the first movie, since he played Danny Ocean in the original, that Bo can attest to, because he was the only one that watched the first movie. but by the third movie, they actually played a song and they honored him with this little handshake thing.
Yeah. What I do know. Go ahead, Nina. Sorry, you might say the same thing I'm going to say.
I was gonna say, the thing with Sinatra is he's very complex. Like, he was a huge star. People of a certain age, which is like my dad, love Sinatra. He listened to him 6 hours a week. There was this TV show. It was Fridays with Frank and Sundays with Sinatra on this local radio station.
Oh my God!
And they were 3 hours long, and listened to both of them.
Fridays with Frank and Sundays with Sinatra. They just followed the letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was two. It
Welcome
was
to the
two.
60s.
It was
Yeah.
2 3-hour radio shows.
What was his
that they
middle
ran
name?
Every
Who knows? Yeah.
Albert.
Albert.
Francis
There's no
Albert Sinatra.
There's no
August with Albert. I mean, that's all they need.
Oh,
right?
shit.
Or April with
I mean-
Albert.
I mean,
31 Days of Sinatra.
my God. But so, and he was very popular with Italian Americans, and there's a lot of Italian Americans in our town. But there was always the rumor that he was mixed up with the mob.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
Sure.
And
So yeah, go when you're done. I have a
so-
couple stories.
that if you guys have seen The Godfather, right?
Yeah.
Sure,
the
they
sing-
even
the
reference
singer
it in this
ca-
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, the singer character in that, I forget his name. It's supposed to be Sinatra.
The guy
really?
who cries and gets slapped in the face by
Yeah.
Don Corleone, and he's like,
Yep.
"Be a man!" Like he's yelling at him, and it's like, he's like, "Be a man,
Yeah.
stand up!" Like, and then the horse ends up getting killed. Like that's the whole start
Right.
of the horse end up being killed in The Godfather. That is supposed to be Frank Sinatra because he's all mixed
Yeah.
in with the mob. Yeah, exactly.
And
Well, okay.
I
Did
mean,
you ever hear
the
the story? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
at the same time, he sort of had, again, it's like, he kind of had this code of honor. Like he was friends with Mia Farrow, and Mia Farrow's son looks a lot like him. And
I've been to his house in Palm Springs.
oh wow, really? But
Yeah.
but anyway,
for a tour, I had to pay, but
Yeah.
it was a tour.
when Mia Farrow told him that she thought Woody Allen was abusing her children, he's like, "I know people, Mia. I can take care of this." And she's like, "Well, I don't want to murder Frank," but he was ready to have Woody Allen murdered. Yeah. So
Hey, you know what? I'm not even famous and mixed up with the mob, but someone messes with my nieces and nephews, I'll be like, I know some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I was
So there's a whole complex. He has a very complex history. So it's, it's. You could say he's a bad person, but I mean, is he
was just
worse than? There's a lot of other people who are worse. I don't know. It's hard to say.
It was just interesting to me because I mean, it makes sense, the mafia ties and the mob ties. Okay, I get that, right? If you were in Vegas, you couldn't throw a rock without hitting someone without mob ties.
Yeah.
So I get it.
That's how he got
was
hooked
something
in
new.
at the Poconos too. That's how he got so hooked in with the Poconos and all that kind of stuff too. The Catskills and the Poconos were huge mobster hangouts too in the East Coast.
Yeah.
We actually remember when we covered the Presley Elvis movie.
yeah.
They talked about that. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
get it. Okay, it was just something that was new to me. Like I know a lot, but not everything. So
when I grew
it
up,
was new to me.
my exposure to Frank Sinatra was Cannonball Run 2.
Ah,
Doesn't he show up at the end? He's like,
mine
think
was
so.
my exposure was On the Town when I was about 11 or 12 years old, which is a musical that he's in with I want to say Gene Kelly. He's in him, Gene
It
Kelly,
is
and
Gene
some other.
Kelly, and there's a third guy, and I forget his
There's a
name.
third guy who wasn't as famous as either of those guys, but there are a couple of sailors that are on leave for the weekend in New York City, and it's called On the Town. It's really a great movie, actually. It's a musical.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to half like musicals to like it. But I want to get this one thing in about Frank Sinatra, and then we can move on to the next thing. But Nina, did you ever hear the story? Mom or Dad used to tell it that one of our neighbors on West Erie. Tommy Lasorda also was from Norristown, but Tommy Lasorda's aunt or something lived near us and invited Frank Sinatra over once. And Frank Sinatra sat in one of the chairs in the house. No one was ever allowed to sit in that chair again.
Oh shit.
Like this was the chair that Frank Sinatra sat in.
So here,
Yeah.
we talk about our introductions to him. So my introduction, in a similar way to famous people, my grandma was actually friends with Sammy Davis Jr., who had come over to my grandma's and grandpa's house several times, and they had many pictures.
Oh, wow.
damn.
And I remember being in the house and them having a picture, and it was my grandma, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, and one other person. I can't remember, but I do remember the fact that it was she worked in the casinos in Tahoe and around and stuff like that. So anytime, they were there, she just got to know these people. But I remember Sammy Davis Jr. being a big part of my grandma's life, and with that, the small connection to Sinatra. So,
I'll tell you this: there's a Frank Sinatra impersonator who appears like around town here. He plays at the
really?
park. Yeah, he does like the park concert every summer.
Oh.
There's
I thought you were just gonna say randomly, like a Dunkin' Donuts, he just shows up.
No. Like people hire
Take
him
a donut.
for weddings.
I want it my way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, but but it's like
Burger King openings. I want it my way.
I said I'd like a donut. I want it my way.
Hey, you need to find that guy and let him know. That's his next marketing thing right there.
The thing is, it's a full-time job for him. So I mean, Sinatra is still popular enough that he can like.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
He's like.
Well, I don't know if you guys watch The Voice, but
Yeah.
there's been a couple of crooners on there, and they do bring up Sinatra all the time. Anytime there's a crooner on there, and it's like, how is
Michael
anybody?
Bublé brings him up too, and all.
Yeah,
that,
well,
of
I mean,
course,
he's
yeah.
about as close to
He
that
is
as
a crooner, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some guys that are even far back more into that than them, and they bring it up every time. But back into Ocean's 13, which we're actually supposed to be talking about. I'll blame myself.
Well, we were talking about The Godfather. That came up, and I just got to bring a few references up because, of course, Scott Conn, who is James Caan's son, is in this.
Yeah.
And Al Pacino, of course.
Gotcha, yeah.
Al Pacino actually, one of his first lines is when he says, "What I want." What's most important to me, and that's a scene when I think Danny shows up when they're still building the building, but that's direct from The Godfather. So it's kind of a tease, a classy, cheesy tease. I don't know. It's kind of silly. I don't know if it's a good thing, but it is kind of cool that all these characters are coming together for Ocean's movie that were there back in the day, with The Godfather.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
Let me ask you this, Ruth.
You mentioned James Caan, which makes me think. I have down here a list of fictional Vegas casinos.
Fictional.
And
fictional.
Fictional.
Yeah. Okay.
Fictional. So there's the Bank, obviously. This is one of them. The Tangiers is from the movie Casino. That's the movie there. Another one is called the Montecito. The Montecito is the casino from the TV show Las Vegas.
Was there a TV show?
James Caan.
Oh,
there was a
shit.
TV show called Las Vegas, and it starred James Caan.
Wow.
And one of my friends, every time he gets in, and maybe he doesn't do it anymore because it's all Ubers now, but when he used to go to Vegas, and he'd get in a cab, the guy would go, "Where do you want to go?" He'd go, "Take me to the Montecito." And the guy's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, that's not a real casino," kind of a thing. And but that was James Caan's casino in the show Las Vegas, and it had Josh Duhamel and Jay Moore's first wife was in it and all that kind of stuff.
Was it called Las
actually a
Vegas
pretty
or
good
just
show.
Vegas?
Vegas was the
I think
one
it's just
with,
called Vegas.
No, Vegas was the one with Dan Tana. Las Vegas was the one with Josh Duhamel. I'll
Okay.
double check.
Okay.
But, anyway, it was a pretty good show. But if you ever watch it anywhere, you can't. It loses some of the panache to me because whenever you watch it now, it's always on some streaming service, and they don't want to pay for the intro song, which is an Elvis song, "A Little Less Conversation," which is one of my favorite Elvis songs.
I
They
love
don't
that
want to
song.
pay for it, so they have a totally different, just canned
That's so
bullshit
weird.
song.
They even had that on Ocean's 11, didn't they?
It did. It was. Matter of fact, I almost made a drink from that song because it is such a good song. All right.
Yeah.
I want to get back into Oceans, and this is right to you, Bo. Another one that I heard architecturally, the Bank Casino. The way it's built with the towers that twist and all that couldn't actually be built the way they show it. especially with the straight up elevators that they show later on and all this other stuff. They're saying it was physically impossible to build a casino in that configuration. And I was like, well, I know a guy that would probably have something to say about that.
So since we're going down the architecture road, I will say a few things. One,
Because that's how we do it and how he sees it. Yes.
I know.
We bring the architects on.
If
Science.
That's right. So I'll say that I'll get to that in a second. But
Okay.
when they first bring up the architecture and they talk about the plans and all the different architects and all that kind of stuff, they lead off with Gary, Gwathmey, and Myers. Those are three of my favorite architects. They're part of the New York Five, the Whites they call them. They're real architects. They're very progressive modernist architects. Frank Gehry did the Disney Opera House. If you've seen it, it's that stainless steel building that's in LA. You've seen it in a bunch of pictures and stuff. Look up Frank Gehry. You'll see there's a ton of buildings. In the architecture world, what we say is he crumples up a piece of paper and throws it on the table and tells all his designers to make it look like that. Like that's the kind of fucking shit that he designs. So could you build a building that looks like those buildings? Like I didn't freeze frame it to see, but I could see a way where you could have, first of all, a building that high is not going to have a single elevator that goes from ground floor to top floor. There's going to be mid lobbies and things like that because you can't, like the cables would be so long and the spools would be so big and all that. So could you do elevators in a building that size? 100% yes. Could you have an elevator from top to bottom of the building that size? I do believe you could, because you could position it in such a way where it starts on the left side at the bottom floor, ends at the right side on the top floor.
But you're switching elevators.
No. It could be like if you had imagine.
Well, sure.
Imagine if you had a curve. There's curves where you could draw a straight line through the curve from top to bottom.
Yeah,
I'll send you a picture, Noah. I don't know how to describe it on a podcast.
Okay,
I'm not doing much justice to the listeners because this is very visual. But there is a way you could do a curved building with a straight elevator and make it work. It just wouldn't be on the same place on every floor.
I got you.
So on one floor,
my 10th grade geometry just kicked in.
So on one floor it'd be on the far left, on one floor it'd be on the far right, and it'd be every other space in between on the way up kind of a thing or whatever, is what I'm kind of thinking is how they would make it work. Now, to answer that, that's one question. But all the other stuff is just, I wrote down here, it's all BS. I can't even begin to say why. But it's...
Oh, yes, you can. Come on.
The floors...
We want to hear it.
The floors are definitely over 5 inches on every single one of those floors. When they're like, if this floor is over 5 inches,
right.
we'll never be able to get through it. It's like, it's a fucking skyscraper. The floors are over 5 inches. Yes, the floors are over 5 inches.
In a 2-story house, most of the floors are over 5 inches.
Right.
Yeah.
Blueprints don't use ink. When he says my fingers smell like ink, and he's been looking at blueprints, my fingers smell like ink. I don't know what the fuck you're looking at, but they're not blueprints.
He's looking at old school. Old school.
They would smell like ammonia then. They don't use ink on blueprints. They've never used ink on blueprints. Reproductions have never used ink. They use something other than ink. You've never had mass-produced plans with anything that uses ink. The first draft might be ink.
They needed to pay you for this movie, bring you on.
Wait, but what
this
if
is
they
an
printed
architect's
them?
dream.
What were they printing them on like a D-size printer?
They're going to print them on a plotter, yes, but they're going to print one copy, then they're going to make copies of that.
Vellum.
Copies you take. Right, sorry,
shit.
I knocked over my mic. I knocked over my microphone.
He's so excited.
I'm so excited.
No, he's bringing the passion to this.
Vellum,
That's great.
Vellum with ink. Steve, you're right. Vellum with ink, Mylar with ink, all that stuff with ink is the first production. Every copy uses something other than ink, and that's what Rusty would look at, because the originals stay with the
Well, it wasn't. I think it was
all the
it was
copies
Linus.
go to everyone else.
Wasn't-
Okay, fine, Linus, whoever's looking at him is going to be looking at something other than ink.
All right. Well, I want to bring your height rate down a little bit. So
No, this is awesome.
Linus,
All right.
No, Linus
Okay.
in that when he's talking about his he's looked at all the things, he can't get anything, he's already blown all his money. So if you know Matt Damon, he was filming the third Bourne film at the time.
Ultimatum.
So
I know.
They actually filmed that in London.
Wow.
Oh, really?
They took
that's why
advantage.
it
He
has
was
a
in London. That whole
total
scene.
Totally different look.
It's got the blue tones that they had in the Bourne.
And for our audiences, that's the best of the Bourne movies. Bourne Ultimatum. Yes. So. That's my
someday
opinion.
we may cover that.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely. I hope.
He was talking about the computer at that time, but anyway, back to the architecture.
Well, no, he was saying he was. Go ahead.
Anyway, so no, I get it, but so there's that. Elevator shafts of that height, of that length, any elevator shaft over 2 floors in every single state in the U.S. has a divider between the elevator shafts. You can't jump from elevator shaft to elevator shaft.
So Yen
They're
wouldn't
all
have been able to
divided.
do that. That.
He wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah.
Because you have to have the divider between, because if something goes wrong with one of the elevators and it's a massive sort of crash or a cable breaks or something breaks off of an elevator, you don't want it to affect the other elevators. So they all have screens between them or some kind of way to prevent getting from one shaft to the other shaft.
You don't want to get 2 shafts.
You don't want to get 2 shafts. Absolutely don't want 2 shafts.
If you get shafted once, you don't want to get a second one.
If you have a building permit for a building, you're going to have one set of plans that represents the building. Like, you don't just freelance all these drawings that it's like this person has that.
Well,
that
you do
person.
if you're trying to avoid taxes.
Well, you're not going to get a building permit. It's just not going to happen.
Hey, in Vegas,
yeah.
you might. There's some shady shit there.
Maybe,
But
maybe.
Wait,
but I get
wait.
you're
What do you
saying.
mean? You mean? I mean, I work. I see a lot of blueprints, and I always see revisions. What are you talking about? You're talking about.
So, but they all go through. So if I do a set of drawings for a building, and I have revisions, I don't just draw the revisions. I have to submit the revisions to the authority having jurisdictions, the AHJ. So I apply those to the AHJ because they have to approve the revisions on top of approving the original drawings.
Sure.
So there's a record of all those drawings at the building department or at the architect that got the permit.
But
There's
it's fair to
just one architect.
see a whole bunch of series of drawings that you don't know which
Right,
one's
but
right.
not by 10 different architects the way they describe it.
Okay.
They're like, there's 10 different architects. There might be 10 set of drawings,
From my
but
point
they're
of
all
view,
by the same
where
architect.
I work and I'm sometimes looking at drawings, I get totally like, what the hell am I looking at? I'm looking at something from 5 years ago, and I'm seeing another one that's current. And I'm seeing an as-build, and I have to kind of figure out which one's. I mean, as-build. If I have an as-build, that's great. But
That's what you want to use.
Yeah,
There's always
but-
going to be an as-built.
yeah, but other than that, it's like it's chaos. Other,
But in
whether-
Vegas, that's what it is. It's, you got a shady ass fucker like Willy Bank who doesn't want anybody to know his building, and he doesn't play by rules, so he just does his own thing. He gets the Frank Sinatra handshake group together and says, "Look, this is what I want to do.
Maybe.
I play by the rules until I don't play by the
I've dealt
rules."
with some pretty shady people in my career, and I don't know any of them have ever had 10 different architects design a single building.
No, I know. It was one of those. Well, and just like all of the ocean movies, you have to
Willing suspension of
disbelief,
because. Well, there's also the whole thing about creating the earthquake and the shake, right?
Yeah.
They get this the drill, the tunnel drill thing that was supposed to. It's a famous drill that did a tunnel between France and
England. The channel.
Paris,
Yeah, the channel.
It dug the channel. It's a real
So
thing.
now they bring it in on a single tractor trailer and get it going underneath fucking the strip, right?
Yeah.
There is no fucking way whatsoever that they're just gonna like pull that in. And not only that, but one person said, first off, it would take like 8 trucks to get the whole damn thing there.
Oh, it come in pieces like cream. It come in
And there's no way you're just gonna assemble that underneath Vegas and
back
just
it into
start
the
running
hole that drops
Yeah.
it into the underbelly of Vegas. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
it's kind of dated now because they do have a tunnel in Vegas. They have Elon Musk's stupid thing, which is 2 blocks long, and it took them like
Well, no, it was actually done for the filming of this. They really did dig a tunnel, and Elon bought it to put it.
Are you serious? No,
No, I'm fucking with you,
No.
but
All
it
right.
works.
I'm like, I wouldn't
No.
be. Hey, I wouldn't. Okay. One last
I mean,
thing.
Elon's thing was like he was going to have a tunnel from L.A. to Vegas, and
oh my god.
it took him gazillions of dollars, and it was way over time and way over budget, and it's only 2 blocks long. It's
But you
it's
know what? That's
basically-
more than the bullet train that fucking Newsom was going to put in California. That thing has spent more money and hasn't put a fucking track down.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's politics for you.
I'm not
so
talking.
one last,
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying the.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, yeah.
It's like to just like
Noah brought it
tip
home.
something into the earth, and suddenly it's like tunneling all over Vegas within 24 hours. We know that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
no, it would
Well,
take
and the
months
fact
and
that they had to
months.
buy the second, like get the other drill to bring it in.
Yeah.
That's how they got Terry Benedict to join the crew.
True.
That was
They had to find a reason.
It was a
to need
MacGuffin,
$36 million. Yeah, exactly. It was a MacGuffin, exactly. And one last architecture thing, kind of on a not a.
That's what distinguishes this podcast from all the other shit out there. We have an architect.
Cocktails and building drawings.
The whole thing about buying air, that's a real thing.
Oh, really?
That's a real thing. Yeah. So I know that I found out about that first before I was even an architect. I started to look into it because my dad had mentioned it. Well, what happens is, so what the way you buy air is, like, let's say, so what should have happened, Terry Benedict should have bought all the air over, because what happens is if you have a 4-story building, right? If you have a 4-story building and it exists, right? And you want to build a skyscraper next to it and you want to keep your views, you buy everything above that 4-story building and you pay the landowner of the 4-story building. You either lease it or buy it or whatever, and you pay whatever money they want to sell it for. So then if the next person comes in and buys the property, they can't build anything more than 4 stories. And if you want to preserve your views, let's say, from like wherever to wherever, like let's say you're in San Francisco and you're like 3 blocks from the coast. And when you build your building, you're 6 stories high. If you want your top story to have a view to the ocean for the rest of your life, you buy all the air above all the existing buildings from your house to the ocean. And then the next people that build a building there can't build higher than the building that already exists, so your views are preserved. It's a real thing. It's
that seems like some cryptocurrency kind of bullshit where you're paying money for shit that really doesn't exist.
No, but that makes sense. I mean
it does. Yeah. It makes more sense than cryptocurrency, personally. But
fair enough.
True.
Yeah.
But
it's got a little more reality than cryptocurrency, at least.
Right?
I mean, because it does happen. Like I saw a thing on Reddit where a person had bought a house, and part of the reason they bought the house is, like Bo said, it had this spectacular view of the lake or whatever. And like 5 minutes after they moved in, the person next door like built this, this huge
like
building that blocked their
or something.
Yeah, that blocked their view, and they're like, "Can I sue because I was not told this was happening, and clearly they knew it was happening."
So here's my question on that.
Maybe they didn't, but maybe they did. But go ahead.
The cost of air compared to the cost of, like, say, a small, ground-to-ground missile. Like, what would be more?
Well, the legality of buying the air is much more legal than a ground-to-ground missile. I will say that. The odds of you going to jail for buying air versus the odds of you going to jail for firing a ground-to-ground missile.
Prove that I bought it and shot it. Okay.
Higher.
I know a guy that really could do that. Like, he will fire off.
I got to bring up a point. This is one of the weirdest podcasts we've done in that we've hardly talked about the movie. We're talking about architecture and science and nuclear missiles and whatever. Well, maybe not nuclear.
I think it's the drinks we had are very potent.
I know. We all had earthquakes.
They've shaken this podcast to its core. So no, I want to get back into this because this
I certainly do too.
My biggest problem with this is the heist. Right, it was personal, so it wasn't the same. They weren't just trying to get money, but they did some of the same kind of like, oh, we got to get this, and they brought in a great. I mean, you got Eddie Izzard, which I don't even know if I want to talk about right now.
Why, you don't like him?
I love Eddie Izzard. Eddie Izzard is no longer Eddie Izzard. Eddie Izzard is now Susie Izzard.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know that.
But he's...
Yeah. Well, that's my question. Okay, so I listened to a podcast, and this was a recent podcast, and they changed... They kept calling him, her, from when he was him. You know what I mean? And I was like, wait, what's the right protocol? When they... You know what I mean? It's like,
sure,
he was a him
that's
then.
Fair. We're talking about the past... And
I was just
Eddie Izzard was a him at the time.
And anyways, but Eddie Izzard was greatness as Roman Nagel.
You know what? I got to point out, Noah, that's very thoughtful of you. I appreciate how you are acknowledging the challenge of transgender culture.
Well, it's like
and
if it was a new
more power
show,
to you, Noah. I had no idea, and I want to raise my glass and give you a cheers.
Okay, evolving, Steve. We're watching him evolve.
I'm like a Pokemon. I'm like at the next level.
That's right.
But no, it was really interesting because it was like they went deep into it, and I was like, but when it was a him. Anyways, Eddie Izzard did an incredible job. I really loved everything that his part of this movie is especially the kind of him and the Livingston.
Oh, their interaction. I think it's
Livingston, yeah. The whole like he goes like, I gotta call him in, but don't tell him, and like how they
keep
set
it
that
on the
up.
down low.
That was so good. How they got. To me, that was. I wanted a little bit more of that, and a little bit more of the way one was, where they were setting up the cons and they were setting up how they were doing stuff. Because that to me, like, I mean, the whole Mexican, they sent one of the brothers down to Mexico to the dice factory
Manufacturing thing, yeah.
right, to build these so they could get a chemical into the dice.
Yeah, exactly.
So that they could flip them at a certain time, which brings up a whole nother aspect in the big ass hole in this hole in this fucking movie. But
I mean, that's clearly bullshit, but I'll allow it.
Yeah. Bernie Mac creating now. Someone goes, is it racist that they have the only black? Well, I guess he's not even the only black guy because you got Don Cheadle, but you have a black guy in there and he's gonna put dominoes into the casino. Like,
well, they do that on purpose because he's like, I'm sure he was 100% on. Knowing Bernie Mac's comedy, I'm sure he was 100% on board with that. I'm sure he wasn't like, oh, I can't do this. This is like, he was like, fucking sign me up.
The only thing better is like, you got to give me a chicken sponsor. Somehow I need a Popeyes or a KFC sponsor.
Look at Ocean's 11 when he's like, I got to use lotion. And he's like, I moisturize. Like all that kind of, like the way he is in the first movie, he's 100% on board in this one.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, they made the joke when they were at the expo and Willy Banks is like, I don't know about this. And Terry Benedict is like, oh, this will bring in a whole new clientele. Yeah. And it's like, get it?
Read that in?
What do you mean, Terry?
Oh, my God. So
what clientele would that be, Terry?
The memes that are going on right now with the JetBlue holiday, have you seen those?
Oh, I don't know.
Because of all the cruises, they've had that jingle that goes over all the cruises right now, and they're having all the problems with the racial indications that these Jet 2 holidays are very inclusive to the black people and they're causing problems. There's just all kinds of shit going on. It would be hilarious to go. Get on Instagram.
I'm gonna
get on the TikTok. You will find them.
I'm gonna have to use my burner account because I don't want to have this showing up in my feed for the next fucking 3 months.
Oh man, my feed is so fucking all over the place. It's ridiculous. But yeah, the Jet 2 holidays. It's pretty funny, but it's very racial like that.
Yeah.
But it just strikes me as like that would have been a perfect time to have that jingle drop in on there because it'd be like, oh shit. Right. But yeah, it just was funny. This was also sadly, Bernie Mac's last film. He passed away. Yeah.
Oh, man. I didn't realize that. I wondered that. I didn't realize that.
He's got a couple credits after this on his page, but.
Could it have been one of those deals like the guy from Fast and the Furious that died? Like they released after he died, but filmed before? What's that guy's name? Paul Walker?
Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Paul Walker. He does.
Paul Walker had a couple movies released after he died because he had filmed them before and they weren't going to release them. But they're like, oh, he died? We can maybe capitalize on his death.
Yeah. You're right, because he has Old Dogs starting under Soul Man and Madagascar and Transformers. Fuck, excellent movie. All after
He was in the first Transformers?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Bobby Bolivia.
It was interesting when I was watching this movie. I knew Bernie Mac was
Had passed
when I
away
watched
and
it
was
when I
sick.
watched it
Yeah.
a couple days ago for the podcast. I knew that he had passed away the year after this was made, and every scene he was in, I looked at it differently than I saw it because I saw this movie in the theater and I had no idea, But and
I
I
saw in the theater. Wow.
yeah, oh yeah. So watching it this time, every scene he was in, it looked. I think it felt like he wasn't performing up to his standard, and I noticed
He was
that.
definitely sick at this point.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
I like he was sitting down in most of his scenes. and-
yeah.
What did he die
yeah.
from? Was it cancer? Was it something else? Does anybody know? I mean, I can look it up, of course.
Yeah.
I just wondered if you guys knew.
I don't know offhand, but I think it was a form of some kind of chest sick,
Pneumonia caused
pneumonia.
complications from pneumonia. So, I don't know. Could have been
Oh,
a
look at
million
me
things.
knowing shit.
Could have been a million things. Right? It was a chest thing.
But
It could
do
have
you-
been a million
Well,
things.
But no, you mentioned that during Ocean's 12, he got diagnosed with something, right? That
Well,
was what-
that's when he really got sick. I think that might have been when he actually came down with the full on pneumonia. Was Ocean's 12?
He might have had like some kind of like PCOS or something that
Could have had
you know-
AIDS.
Oh.
Could have had.
You're
Yeah,
right.
that-
You're right.
like-
Something that kind of attributed to the pneumonia, other
right,
than
right. Like the pneumonia is what carried him off, but it was complicated by some chronic condition.
Yeah. Real quick, you mentioned the Livingston character, and he's not in the movie that much, but every scene he's in, I always laugh out loud. At
He's much
everything that
better in
goes
this
on
one
with
than
him.
in the earlier
Like,
ones.
In the scene with the lie detector, in the scene when he first is testing out the programming of the
Oh my
thing,
God,
and
it's totally
he pulls
fucked
out a
up.
blackjack. And then the other one, he's just kind of in the background, and all the cards just come flying
Yeah,
out of the
when the
top.
card machine
like
blows
into
up,
the
that's
air.
funny as hell.
Like
That
his
one made me
scenes
laugh.
Are so well done. I think he does a really good job.
Well, okay, so did you guys catch when he got arrested, right, by the FBI,
Oh.
and they
I
walk
think
him
that
out,
was
and
on
he's,
purpose. Obviously, it was. On
well, they sit him in the car, and
he's got a
and he
grin.
gets
Yeah,
and he gets a grin. You're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, okay.
it's part of the plan. Yeah.
Well, so this is where holes amongst holes start showing in this more so than the other two, where he had set up this deal with Eddie Izzard's character. I'm sorry, with Roman. Because he calls, but don't let the other guys know. So they act like, hey, Warren Livingston, that the FBI's there, but it's also it's Linus's dad. Like, it's almost like they don't know all the fucking things that are going on in their own goddamn scheme. You know what I mean? This one made so much less sense.
But do
in
you
the
think
long
that
run.
they said the FBI's there, and that was a way of like if somebody overheard the radio transmission, they wouldn't know that it was Linus's dad. And it was like a code.
But I mean, how would Linus's
know.
dad show up just randomly?
Hey, I got to interject.
I don't think it was random, though.
Stop calling him Linus's dad. You got to call him Super Dave.
I was going to say.
No, you don't have to call
Super
him
Dave
Super Dave.
Osborne.
No,
Super Dave
You
Osborne.
don't have to. No. I'm going to step back because I have this written down here. You have to take another step back.
Oh,
You have to call him Bob Einstein. You know why you have to call him Bob Einstein?
why?
Because his brother is Albert Brooks, which would make his brother's name Albert Einstein. Albert Brooks's real name is Albert Einstein. How crazy is that? That you name your kid Albert Einstein?
Wait, Albert Brooks from like the director.
comedian.
Yeah, the comedian. Okay,
Yeah.
Comedian, the director.
Nemo's
brothers.
dad.
I didn't know they were brothers.
They're
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
brothers.
Super Dave Osborne, and Albert Brooks are brothers, and their last name is really Einstein.
All right.
Crazy. Super Dave Osborne, though, I'm 100% on board with that because I've known him as Super Dave Osborne since the 80s with David Letterman. Was he on or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Whatever he was
Letterman.
on.
Oh, man, he was on Saturday
Super Dave
morning
Osborne-
cartoons.
Super Dave Osborne was the best. You're 100%. We're not calling him Linus's dad anymore. It's Super Dave Osborne.
Well, sure, it's Bob
100% agree.
Einstein in the movie. Yeah, okay, here.
Yeah,
But I mean,
100% agree. 100%
but
agree.
That's what I mean. Is the holes were there? Like
Super
it's
Dave.
like they're like, oh, Warren Einstein, the FBI, and they kind of do, but then he gets arrested, and you're like, and then Roman comes in and switches out the machines, which makes sense. It's like if they plan that, great. But why did not
Noah,
Danny and Rusty know?
Albert Einstein, come on. I think we have to let that resonate.
But I mean, it goes. There's just this. It was like they were too clever for their own selves in this one. Where the first one made sense. It all kind of like when it was all said and done, you're like, oh shit, okay, it all connects. This one, you're like, there's still holes and bridges and jumps and like, it was all over the place. There were some funny things, though.
I think this one is actually the simplest of all of them. I don't
really.
Yeah,
And some.
I think this one was so much more.
The reason I think it was the thing I thought that it was explained throughout. It didn't feel like they threw a fastball at you at the end. That was like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming.
I think they tried, and I don't know if it did.
Well, yeah, okay.
Well, okay, so I mean,
the only curveball I saw at the end was the guy they fucking abused through the whole movie that was with the
Fox
review service winning $11 million.
Oh my god, the VUP, yeah.
oh, no,
The poor
what
guy.
that was them
got
being
paid.
like, hey, we can't make our guys look bad. They have to do this guy right.
They would have done
Yeah.
him right anyway because
That
it
was
was no
great.
skin off their back. It was
Yeah.
nothing wrong to
Why?
them.
No, but why? No, wait. They fucking
abused
rob.
the guy through-
They rob people blind left and right.
They
and don't give a
rob
fuck.
bad people. This guy was
Wait,
not
no,
a
wait,
bad
wait,
person.
wait.
Who
Wait.
they robbed that was a good person?
Wait, okay. If you take money from the person on the top, who really hurts in the long run? Everybody below him.
The money's already, it's either going to the people higher up or it's going to the people on the bottom. It's going either way. So I disagree with you, Noah. I think it's already set aside. The money is already set aside. It's either going to the people on the top or on the bottom. And in this case, it went to the people on the bottom, or it went to this VUP.
Well,
guy.
I mean,
I'm just arguing your point. That's all.
No, I agree. Okay, you're right. A little. I mean, it's not going to hit them directly, but in the long run, it's going to hit them. The hotel closes; they're all out of jobs. The other thing was just like they're talking about.
Noah.
You don't wait. The whole point was to get Banks out of a job and close that fucking hotel.
Yeah.
All those people losing their jobs.
Yep.
Every one of them. Okay?
Everyone.
So, but here's the other
I
part
don't know
of
if
it
they're going
was
to close it. Here's the thing: the building's built. Somebody else will buy it and turn it into a shitty casino, but people still have jobs. It's Vegas. Somebody's buying that casino.
regardless. But yeah, they well, first off, they treated that dude.
I think
Not
that's,
only that,
I think
but
that's
like,
fair. I think that is totally fair that people.
Who the fuck sees bed bugs and still goes to sleep in that bed?
No one.
He didn't.
No one.
He slept on the chair.
Yeah, I did. That's true.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, but also, like, I'm sorry, but if I go to a hotel and like that fucking shit reeks like whatever this supposed
I'm
to
going
reek
to a
like,
different hotel.
like I'm like, you fucking find me another room or I'm blowing this motherfucker up. I'll open that door and let that whole floor fucking fumigate.
Maybe you didn't notice this about that guy. He didn't have the same kind of personality that you have now.
No, he didn't have a backbone. He didn't have a backbone.
He was a little
yeah,
more
oh yeah.
reserved. He was a little less excitable.
I'd have been
Just,
throwing
you know,
chairs,
I'm
motherfucker.
sure
I'd
you
have been.
would've
I'd have been.
I don't
I'd have been the
blame you.
next fucking TikTok or Instagram video. Like, look at
right.
this motherfucker
But you know,
going crazy.
do you think that though, if it was you, Noah, that they would have catered their
If I was there
they would
to
have
give him a
changed
5-star,
things. If you were the one that was
I don't
doing
know
that,
you would fit
no,
that
they
job,
would
though.
have. They
I
would
don't
have
know-
known
I
me,
don't
and they'd
know
be
if
like,
that's a
"Oh
good
no, this
job for you.
motherfucker's
Yeah,
shady. Let's talk to him directly."
yeah, they would have done something different. They
Yeah.
they
I
were
don't see
going
that
to the
as
source.
being a good job for you, Noah. I just don't see it.
Oh, you don't think I could get 5-star reviews?
I don't think
Come
I
on.
don't see you as being a hotel reviewer.
Oh no, I'd be honest as fuck.
That's why I don't see you as doing it.
I think it would be kind of fun.
It would
but
be
anyway.
fun. I don't doubt that. It would be fun.
But yeah, so the filming of the Ocean series have always been really well done. I give much credit to the directors and the editors and the filmographers. There was one scene in this though that I literally was like, that is the worst fucking shit I've ever seen in film.
Ooh.
And that was the scene when Rusty and Danny were in the room planting all the viruses. I hated that scene more than anything.
Didn't make sense. First
Well,
of all,
it
it
was-
wouldn't have been them, and it wouldn't have been them.
And it was horrible to watch. It was like this multiple overlay kind of.
It was like MTV. It was like something
did.
from MTV.
It
My,
looked like
my
he had a
wife was
bad
saying the
acid
same
trip.
thing. She's like, I didn't like that photography.
Oh, it was horrible. I was like, this is fucking crap. I literally watched that and I'm like, if I was a kind of person that would walk out of a movie, that's the kind of scene that would make me walk out of a movie.
Huh?
Like I literally was like, I feel sick
But-
now. I don't like this. This was
There's something kind of stubborn about that, though. I think, and I don't. I mean this in a charming way. I think I think the director was trying something new. It's like let's lean into MTV for this scene.
Here's what I heard.
Okay.
Director didn't even have anything to do with it. He gave it over to the editors and said, make something of this.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, oh shit. Well, they fucked you over because that was a horrible fucking scene. It literally was the worst in the Oceans trilogy.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about because at the scene end, Cindy turned to me a couple nights ago when we watched it, and she's like, "That was weird. I don't think that that bugged me." So
yeah, I was like,
I should bring her on and get her input. Yeah.
Let her tell us that was shit. No, she wouldn't have said it that way. She would be much more eloquent. She's a teacher, so she has a very good vocabulary.
She does, but she also has. I don't think she would be that.
she has a strong opinion about stuff.
We're not
too,
first
so.
graders here that she's talking to. She reserves that for
It was poo poo. But no, I was really surprised because I was like, man, there's so much in this movie and so much in this series that is filmed so well and done so incredibly that I was like, this is odd. And then when I found that out, I was like, okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, that was the one thing. The other thing is, we lost our female connection essentially with this too. We didn't get Julia Roberts. We didn't have Zeta Jones back.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they talked about it right away. They're like, oh no, not their fight. Not their fight. They just answered it right in the fucking beginning. Like, nope, we're not going to get it. But we did have Ellen Barkin, who I thought she was interesting. She actually played a bad guy, so that's kind of new and interesting. You don't always have the female aspect as a protagonist.
I was
but she
expecting
kinda
a
was.
cougar cocktail from one of us, but we didn't get one.
I thought about it. I was going to go with some pineapple. I thought she did a great job. I enjoyed her. It was interesting how the scene with her and Matt Damon kind of fell out in the end. I thought they did her dirty a little bit.
It was very weird.
It was.
It was. It
Like
made,
she was very powerful and strong in the beginning and everything and all the way through it. And then in that she kind of lost a lot of it. I was kind of like
I can see what they were going for, like it was pheromones or whatever, but it's like it doesn't work
Can
that
pheromones
way.
make that happen? I don't
No.
know. Was it just
No.
pheromones or was it other drugs?
well,
It was a
see,
Gilroy.
So to
It
me,
was the Gilroy. It's true.
to me, if they would have done this correctly, they could have left her with some strong, powerful, like personality and everything, and could have been a true cougar and said, "Yeah, no, I want me some Matt Damon," because I don't blame her.
Yeah.
And
I
just
want me some
and left
Matt.
the fucking left the hormones out of it and like or pheromones, and left it out and just like let her just be a cougar. Like, no, I want me some Matt Damon. But what they did with the
It's like-
pheromones kind of
And the nose works.
The nose works.
Yeah. I mean,
The nose
I
works.
mean,
Dude, I
That's
just got
the
an
thing.
eye roll from my cat on that one. Just got an eye roll from my cat on that one.
I mean, Steve's right. They could have had her, and you're right too, Noah. It's like she could have been like, this is what I want, and I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
And it could have been played for laughs, where Linus was like, oh, I'll seduce her, and he comes in, it's like, oh,
And he gets
don't have to seduce her. She's
It's
ready
almost
to
on the
jump on
opposite
top
side.
of
Could
you.
have played it that way. That's true. They totally could.
Yeah.
That would have been so much better if she just went full cougar and was like, "I'm gonna take you," and he's like trying to fight her off a little bit. Where
Yeah,
this,
that- where-
it
yeah,
would've been
like-
so much better.
What I
Yeah.
think might not have worked with that, though, that would have been a great storyline. What I think might not have worked with that is he couldn't have gotten her to take him up to the diamond room if that were the case. She would have taken him to some closet or something. Or
We don't know that. I mean, they could have found.
I mean,
a way
I'm
to
just
work it
thinking.
in.
Maybe. I just think it would have been. It was easier the way.
Well,
they
here's the
did it.
thing: is I think she's such a powerful woman. She's like, "Nah, I'm gonna show it off a little bit. Like, look what I
Yeah.
have. You know what I mean?
And
Maybe.
and the thing is, and the diamond room is kind of. It's kind of romantic. Like it has these
Actually-
big windows looking out
Yeah.
over the strip. I
True.
mean, he
Top
could have been
floor.
like,
It's basically
Yeah.
the penthouse.
right. Yeah,
I
we
just-
coulda-
Point.
I
He
think
could
that
have
was
been like, why don't we take some champagne up to the
Yeah.
up to the top floor, and
Or she
thinking, oh,
could
I'll
have
get
said.
her up there.
I think they should have let her be the pusher. Like he came in like
Yeah.
he was like, "Oh yeah, I got this nose, and I'm gonna seduce her," and she takes control of it and kind of flip this role and let him kind of be like, I mean, put him back in that Linus stage where he's like, I really don't know what's going on, but I gotta roll with this. That would have been even a
Yeah.
better way to do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that
I do like the one line in that. She goes, she mentions a wine and I don't know like French wines and stuff, but she mentions a French wine and he goes, well, as long as it's not a 73. Like I was like, I just love stuff like that. Like just little things like that. I just really find interesting, like are pretty funny. But one of the things, like I don't have too many problems with this movie. Certainly not as many. The architecture, yes. But the as far as the writing goes, the only like major joke I had a problem with was when what's the Asian guy's name? I always forget his name. Yen. When he makes the bet on the fixed table and the numbers are 11, 12, and 13, I'm like, really? That's the best you could do? That's where you went with this, was 11, 12, and 13? Like, give me a break.
well, okay, so there's some
Like,
interesting
are you
things
at
with
fifth?
that.
Did you have your fifth grade son write that?
Well, come on. It's definitely a play on the Ocean's.
Well, clearly,
11.
but it's
Okay.
weak.
Well, but not only that, but if you were playing American Roulette, and they said that we know where the number's going to land within 3 numbers, right?
Right.
If 12 was the middle number, 13 and 11 wouldn't have been the other ones. I'm trying to find it. It was in one of the mistakes. It's
Yeah, the
it's actually
wheel's
like
very different,
28 and something
The wheel
else.
doesn't- The wheel doesn't go chronologically. They're like
Right.
all around. Yeah.
Right, but the reason you do 3 numbers right, exactly. The reason you bet 3 numbers together is because it doesn't land exactly like on the middle one on the number. It lands within a range of numbers. That's how
Right.
the cheating works. So you pick a range of 3 and it's not going to be 11, 12, and 13 right next to each other. So anyway.
Right. Well, that's what they were saying is that wouldn't have worked to cover the money. Well, not only that, but if we get into that, they had 3.5 minutes to empty the bank. That's what, maybe 2 hands of blackjack, maybe 3 max, maybe
You got
maximum, maybe 2 rolls of roulette,
But how many tables?
maybe.
It's around a minute. The way Vegas dealers are, they have to do around a minute. Whether it's a roll a minute, whether it's a hand a minute, whether it's whatever a minute.
Oh,
Everything's
blackjack is not going 1 hand a minute. Fuck no. If you got a full table, hell no.
That's their
You got-
goal. That's
You
the
got
goal.
one, but hold on. You got one motherfucker on that table that's like, should I hit? Should I split? Should I? You know that
True.
shit does not
No, I
happen
getcha.
in 60 seconds.
I'm just saying
that's
the
what I
goal
mean.
is the goal is.
But at a maximum, even if all tables were running full and everybody was killing ass and they were going maximum,
Yeah.
they would not have broke that bank in 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
No fucking way. But that's but they
know.
are.
But it was
that was-
satisfying. I was satisfied.
It was.
Yeah.
Sure was.
Oh, everybody loves the fact that the players are winning, right? Not only that, but I was actually thinking, I was like, wait a minute, is this a secret ploy by Vegas to show gambling is cool? You guys could win, right?
Oh,
Because
every
all
Vegas
the
movie
players were
ever.
winning.
No, but
They were all like, "Oh,
they,
I don't think it's.
they
I don't
provided
think it's that secret. I
they-
mean, every movie that
what's
takes
that, Steve?
place in
Sorry.
Vegas.
Good. Steve was getting ready to say.
Well, I was just saying they provided the foil to it, and that when you win, you leave. That's the real key.
Well, go ahead,
is that when
Tina.
you win your
Go ahead,
money,
something.
you get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
I
and
mean,
nobody does that.
I feel like every movie I've seen that takes place in Vegas makes you want to immediately go out and gamble because you're like,
right."
doesn't
Have
look
you
that
seen
hard.
Leaving Las,
I
have
think
you
I
seen
can
Leaving
win.
Las Vegas? Leaving Las Vegas made me want to kill myself.
Okay,
Okay.
but now also when
You just got to bring a
everybody
Rain
left,
Man along. If you bring a Rain Man along,
Yeah.
you're good to go.
but when everybody left,
George
they were
Galifianakis.
leaving with chips,
Zach Galifianakis.
not cash, which meant all that money was still in the bank. So the bank
Right,
did not
right.
lose
Yep.
a fucking dime at that point.
It's true.
So realistically, this movie meant fucking absolutely nothing.
They stole the diamonds.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
mean-
They stole the diamonds. All right.
$250 million in diamonds, which is impressive. That's a lot of diamonds. So, while that was going, I'll just
And the Night Fox didn't even get them. They foiled the Night
they,
Fox.
they
that-
duped
that
the
was-
Night Fox again, which is pretty classic. But
Yeah.
one of the funny lines. Sorry, was there more to that? Sorry.
That was it. No.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
One of the funny lines that really struck me was when they were all checking into the hotel, and the guy from the review service was there, and then in front of him was, I always forget the guy's name,
Saul?
Saul. When
Yeah.
Saul's there and he's impersonating, like he's trying to like make it look like he's the reviewer. He
He's
drops
the
notebook
Five
and
Diamond
whatever.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Five Diamond guy and all that. When Ellen Birkin, is that her name? Ellen Birkin?
Yeah, she
Barkin.
plays Abigail.
Ellen Barkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Ellen Barkin is in there, and then she's talking to Al Pacino, and she goes, "The guy in the trilby," and he goes,
Yes.
"The what?" She goes, "The what did she say? The Sherlock Holmes hat or something like that, or whatever."
Sherlock
she
Holmes
said.
hat, yeah.
Sherlock Holmes hat or whatever it is.
Why didn't you tell me that in the first
I-
place?
Right. That thing, the trilby, I didn't realize this until that moment. Remember Bad Words. Jason Bateman's name was Guy Trilby. Spelled the same way. He was named after a hat. I don't know what the significance of that is, but it just stuck in my head when they
Was
said
it Sherlock Holmes or like Doolittle or some? Was it actually Sherlock?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
maybe
that's it. The
Dr.
Dr.
Dolittle.
Doolittle.
That
Okay.
was it.
Dr.
Dolittle.
Sherlock
Yeah.
Holmes is the double brim one. What's
Right,
that?
right. Yeah.
That's got a different name.
Deerstalker.
But yeah, right. Yeah, so no, it's the Dr. Doolittle hat. He's like, why didn't you say that in the first place? But the Trilby is the Guy Trilby from Bad Words, and I was just like, whoa! Like it just dawned on me that's like. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Anyway,
Well, the
We'll have
joke
to watch
is
that again.
It's
I watched
That
like
was
if
such a
you
good.
had-
That was a good movie.
It's like you see a guy who's a hipster, and you're like, oh, you're a hipster. I can tell because you're wearing a fedora, and he'll be like, no, it's really a trilby.
Then be like, yeah, like I said.
you just proved my point. All
Fuck.
right, one of the best lines, also one of the best jokes in the whole movie, and it gets glossed over so quickly, is it's the two brothers. It's Scott
Turk and Virgil?
Kahn.
Virgil and Turk.
Virgil and Turk are sitting there, and they're the ones running. I think they're the ones doing it's when they're doing the change of the pictures because they're like known associates.
Oh,
and he's hacked in. He's
you're a
hacked in to
midget in
change all the
34
pictures.
states.
Yeah, and he goes, and I'm an animal in the other 34, 24, 16,
22.
or whatever, 22.
You can't figure out the-
Anyway. But no, that's not the funny part. The funny part is when he's trying to hack in, and here's Casey Affleck is trying to hack in, and Scott Kahn goes, "You in yet?" And Casey
You're
Affleck
right.
goes,
I
"I
hate
hate
that
that question."
He says what?
Yeah.
He says what?
I hate that question. He goes, "You in yet?" He goes, "I hate that question."
Yeah, no, that's
Does he get it a lot? Oh, that's bad. That's not a question you
guys
want to
were
hear.
great.
It's like so glossed over, and it's so fucking hilarious. Oh my god,
I missed
I
it.
laughed so hard.
I needed
today,
Bo to
and I'm
clue me
tearing
in.
up now.
Yeah.
No, I did. I laughed at that one. That was good. Those guys, to me, I almost would
They're
love
the
to
stars.
see.
They're the stars.
You know what would be great is like a prequel to like Ocean's 11 of those two.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
cute.
little fucking capers of those two fucking going
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
have them
It could be like Goodfellas. It could be like Goodfellas when they have, Joe Pesci and what's the guy who died?
well, that narrows it down.
Well, the bear,
Goodfellas,
the guy that we did the bear.
The main guy.
Well,
The main guy in Goodfellas.
Right.
Anyway, I'll think of it in a second.
Cocaine Bear.
But those
He was in Cocaine Bear.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ray
Ray
Liotta.
He was-
Ray
he was-
Liotta.
Liotta.
Ray Liotta,
So Ray
yeah.
Liotta and Joe Pesci, they go through them as kids, and they're like selling cigarettes and doing all this kind of stuff and whatever. Whoever said it, I don't know if it's Steve or Noah, but whoever made that suggestion, that would be a great movie.
It reminds me of like the Jay and Silent Bob where they show them when they first meet and the fucking
Yeah, right.
mom drops them off in his stroller. It's just like
Yeah.
But it would those two running fucking scams when they're like 5 and 6 in elementary school and then in junior
fucking
high
it
and then
up.
high school and like all the way that would be hilarious. I'm gonna call Soderbergh right now, right, and just like,
Call
hey,
up.
here's
It could
what
be
we got to
Ocean's
do.
2.
Ocean's 1.5.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah,
Oh, my
Ocean's 2.
goodness.
That's awesome. But yeah, those guys. I mean, we talked about it earlier. The whole Mexican dice factory subplot was so funny. Just everything that went on with those guys.
The mustache should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah. It was interesting because it was almost like before especially in Ocean's 12, they were all working together. Like everything was this big team thing. This one was almost all a bunch of little individual things, kind of like how the first one was a little bit,
Yeah.
or Ocean's 11. And I think that works better. It's a team, but it's also individuals. It wasn't as good as Ocean's 11. It's head and shoulders above Ocean's 12.
Oh my God! Yes.
I think having them all split up, it gives them each a chance to shine. Like,
True.
Scott Conn is not in the same scene as George Clooney trying to get a good line in.
Right.
It's just him
Except for the tip one. The tip line was good. When he's like delivering the food, he's like, "How about a tip?" And he's like, "The other guys are going to think I'm stealing.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right.
Think I'm stealing tips." It's like little something for the effort. Like I thought that was really good. I wonder if that was improvised. That's actually, I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, but you're right. They're not putting the minor stars with the major stars trying to like.
Well,
Yeah, it's like
realistically,
if Brad Pitt is in a scene, the guy who plays Livingston is not going to get the funny lines. You know?
well,
True.
and that was what I was trying to talk about earlier. Is Clooney and Pitt were not in this as much. I mean, their screen
Maybe that was on
time
purpose. Maybe that was on purpose.
I wonder if it is, and I wonder if it was like they were working on other stuff too, whatever it was. But I mean, Matt Damon really stepped up, even though he was knee deep in the Bourne Supremacy. We
Ultimatum.
definitely Ultimatum. Sorry, don't want to get those right.
Apology
we got a lot of Livingston. We got a lot of Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle definitely stepped up in this.
I'm a goddamn American hero.
Dude, did you catch his teeth? Did you catch his
Yes,
teeth?
those
Get a
were
little
fucking
flag
amazing.
and that
Yeah.
was like, holy shit. So, which is
The way
hilarious.
the way they got him in there was good too.
Oh, the best part about this is in 12 they did the jokes about him calling her out on her accent.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they get him switching up and going with an American accent. Now, if you also notice, he was reading books the whole time about dictation.
Yes.
Yes.
Another inside joke about his
Yeah.
lack
So
of.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. They doubled down on it for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, and then you got the Super Dave Osborne aspect, but you got uh, um, the motorcycle guy. What can I think of the real guy?
Evil Knievel.
Who was Evil Knievel?
Evil Knievel, yeah.
You know, that whole aspect, that is fucking hilarious. But when he came in that
when he
suit,
does the flute, like in that scene when he's like, dude, I'm a goddamn American hero. I'm just like,
Don
oh my
Cheadle
God.
is so good. I mean, I thought I loved him as Rhodey in the Marvel stuff, but this
Well, what was his name in
movie.
this when he was his Evil Knievel character? It was like Road or something, right? Something Road.
I'm gonna look.
it is. It's like
Yeah.
Rowdy Rhodey,
Yeah.
Rowdy Rhodes.
There you go. It was a tease to his Rhodey
Yeah.
character in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, he this might be one of his next best things to the MCU. And I mean, Don Cheadle is so incredible. Like I love the guy. I could not watch enough of him. So I thought that was great that he got some play in this. We definitely got some more of the. I mean, Eddie Izzard got a big part of this. Carl Reiner
Much bigger.
as Sal.
Yeah.
Like his stuff is the him and his fake dog was fucking
Yes.
hilarious.
Doesn't he get to
did
slap Al Pacino in the Willy? You know.
He does grope him.
Well, and then the fingers crossed at the end when he reveals himself as not being the reviewer, and he's like, "Oh," and he has the crossed fingers at the end. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah, so good. I think they did a good job, and I love the fact that actually Clooney and Pitt were kind of pulled back, like let the rest shine a little.
Yeah.
Like I think that actually played well in this movie. Like they were still there and they still played their parts, but I think letting the rest get kind of an upper hand helped a lot. Did the story itself work as well as 11? No, I don't think it did. 12, yes, it blew 12 out the water. I think the whole idea is like we want a heist in our heist movie,
Yeah.
The double cross at the end, we brought back the Night Fox. I didn't care about that as much. I was like, whatever,
it was a nice
Yeah,
little.
that seemed like
was a
putting a
nice
hat
little
on a
thing.
hat,
Exactly, it was a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
It's like whatever. I'm like
There wasn't
you got
really a
fucking-
huge twist at the end. We kind of like it was the narrative kind of kept you in the loop mostly throughout.
Here was a funny thing too, and I know Bo brought up a bunch about his architect stuff. So the helicopter they used that brought in a lot of people were pointing out like, oh my god, that's Nightwolf. Apparently, it's the same helicopter they use in Nightwolf. But anyways, the idea that there was 12 inches of concrete and rebar and stuff underneath the diamonds, and then the whole diamond display and everything like that. That helicopter could not have pulled up that diamond and flew off.
I wondered that, but I mean,
Not only that, but
helicopter.
how hard would it be to track a fucking helicopter flying through a city to know where it landed? It's like
Right.
just watch where it lands. Send the
Well, and he
cops that
saw it.
way.
He's like, "Oh, my diamonds!" Like, how did
Yeah.
he know? How did he know? Like, those are my diamonds.
Also, one of the most phoned-in acting jobs I've ever seen by an actor ever was that scene with Al Pacino. I was like, I could have delivered a better fucking delivery of, "Oh, my diamonds."
We got to cover "Scent of a Woman" someday because that's one of my favorites, and that's an Al Pacino masterpiece. So
I agree. Well,
he,
I
he-
have not loved that.
he has
That-
some
yes.
movies out there
Yeah.
that are epic. So I agree, this was not his best performance, but
which is funny because I was kind of gonna shit on Al Pacino a little bit, and I was like, let me look up his movies. Does he really have anything good other than
Godfather.
The Godfather? And I started looking. I'm like,
Woman?
oh shit, okay. Any Given Sunday. I love
Devil's
the Monday.
Advocate. I love the Devil's Advocate.
Right.
Deal with Brad
Well,
Pitt. Sure, there you go.
Donnie Brasco.
Sea of Love with Ellen Barkin, who's
Wait,
in this
Devil's
movie.
Advocate isn't Brad Pitt. Devil's Advocate is Keanu Reeves.
You're
Reeves, yeah.
right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Scent of a
And
Woman.
the reason I like it is because you get to shoot Charlize Theron naked.
Well,
Like,
wait, hang on.
You get to shoot Charlize Theron naked.
Doesn't Al Pacino? He was with Brad Pitt in another movie, though, wasn't he? Now,
Oh, he was in that. It was an Irish one or something, or they were like spies or something, or he was in something with Brad Pitt.
Johnny
I forget what it
Brasco
was.
was with that was
Stand-up
with
guys.
that was with the pirate. So
Pirate.
Johnny Depp, sorry.
Yeah, I knew exactly. I'm like, wait, I know the guy. He was just.
Okay, now I'm looking up Brad Pitt.
But I literally was like, I was gonna shit on Al Pacino. I'm like,
The
"God,
Devil's Own?
He's
Was it
got
the
to.
Devil? No.
was that with Harrison Ford?
Yeah, that was Once
Okay.
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It's all right. Yeah, I'm just
Heat. I don't know. Anyway, that's
Looking,
fine.
I'm not seeing any hits.
I thought
here.
there was too, though, Steve. I think you're right. You're mentioning it, and I'm like, I think they were in a movie together, but looks like not.
Produced by okay.
Anyway,
was
it
like-
doesn't matter.
But anyways, I literally was gonna give Al Pacino some shit, and I'm like, oh, he's actually got some really
He's
good
been in a
movies.
ton of fucking great movies. Dude.
Although he was in Jalili or Jiggly or whatever the hell that.
Hey
what do they
man,
call-
you do one for art and one for money. That's all you got to say.
Well, what do you call that one then? Because it wasn't art or money.
Well, he got paid. It didn't make money, but he got paid.
Okay,
I'm sure.
Okay, I'll give you that.
His
I'll give you that.
girlfriend wanted to do a movie together.
Yeah.
Got it. But I saw that he was in. I remembered Any Given Sunday. And I
Al
was like,
Pacino
oh,
was
shit,
done. I love Any Given Sunday.
I love that
what?
movie.
I'll tell you this. You know what? Every Saturday before the Super Bowl, I watch Any Given Sunday.
Nice.
do you really?
Nice.
Every Saturday before the Super Bowl. I bought it on Apple so I could make sure I can watch it every Saturday before.
So
Super
here's
Bowl.
a funny thing, and Bo's gonna laugh about this, but we were destined to be in a podcast from way back when because we used to
Oh
watch
my God,
football
yeah.
every
Yes.
Sunday together with a friend Bill. And we would just be joking and laughing, and we literally said to each other at one point, we're like, we should be doing this on a podcast. We should be on a podcast every Sunday while we watch football and just talking shit. And
Talking
here
shit.
we are today on a
Yep.
podcast talking shit.
Yeah, we used to come over to my house.
Yep.
I had the cord running from my upstairs all the way down to the computer because it was like Wi-Fi wasn't really that good back then. So Bill brought his laptop. I didn't have a laptop,
Yep.
and I ran the Ethernet cable. Like I got a 100-foot Ethernet cable to run downstairs, and I used to always make the bagel bites, and you guys would come over and we'd watch football all day.
Yep. Literally like 9 hours of football together of us
Yep.
just laughing and joking with each other. And literally the quotes came up many times. We should do a podcast with this.
Yep.
Because it was about 6 hours of jokes in a 9 hour time frame. So it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. So I'm glad that we are here now doing Ocean's 13, waiting for these other great movies that we're going to be covering later on. We got December coming up. We got a great throwback movie for December. Can't wait for that. We're going to do
What's it gonna
Ocean's. We're going to do Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Okay, we talked about it before we started taping. That's why I wanted to let the
No,
listeners.
that was actually a listener request, and so
Okay.
that is the greatest thing for me is to actually have someone that's listening.
having a listener.
Well, what Noah's saying is that we might actually do a throwback in addition to a listener request.
Yeah, there's some other great
This happens
throwbacks
to
out
just
there.
coincide with a throwback
Nice.
as well. So who knows?
But yeah, if you're out there listening, give us suggestions. Let us know that you're listening. Let us know what you want to hear. Really, if you made a cocktail to a movie you watched, let us know what it is. Or if you tried one of our cocktails, that would be so
We'll call
much
you
fun.
out if you send us something that says I made this cocktail, or you should do this movie for this reason, or whatever. I mean, we're not like
Hey, Bo, where do you
So
send that
most
to? Where do you send that cocktail recipe to?
Noah. You tell us, Noah, because I really
It's the.hwsi.podcast@gmail.com.
There we
Say that
go.
one more time.
The
One more time.
hwsi.podcast@gmail.com.
Don't forget those dots.
Because I always blank out when you say that. Whenever you start saying the dot, I just like my mind goes to another place. So I don't even really pay attention because that's your deal, Noah.
No, we do have an Instagram. I'm gonna try and get more active on there. It's something every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I got to get back on there.
It's been a few
We have
years.
a Facebook. I know it's been about a year. I was really good for a while, and then I fell off hardcore. I don't know
Get
what
one
the
of
hell
your,
happened.
do you have any nieces, nephews, or grandkids old enough to start fucking doing it yet?
Nieces, yes, probably don't want to care about it. They got their own lives. My daughter actually started the Instagram for us, so I give her credit for that.
Nice.
But you can always go to our Podbean, hwsi.podbean.com, and see all our recipes. Those
Well, that's the
we've been
coolest
doing
thing
that
now.
for the last like 6 months.
I've been putting the link in every description, so you can find the Podbean link in every one of our episodes to go check out the pictures of our cocktails and recipes so that you can make those yourself. Try them out. Let us know what you think. And it has all the links to our other socials and our email, so those are in there. Check them out. Let us know what you think. And outside of that, I'll see you when I see you.
Hail Caesars.
Hail Caesars.
Tough said.
I like it.
What does that mean?